We'll start here in the close guard. And a lot of the times, this is a pretty easy position to get. And I want to start to focus and isolate on one of Mike's arms. As soon as I start to isolate Mike's arm, he's going to make a strong grip and start to resist. And the grips I want to focus on is one, the sleeve grip. I'm going to use a hooking grip, holding really tight to me. And my left hand is going to go behind Mike's elbow, and I really want to focus on my palm touching his elbow. So my grip will be at the tricep, palm at the elbow. Once I start to make this grip, Mike's going to resist. He's going to feel like I'm going for an attack. So there's usually going to be space for my left hand to sneak underneath and grab my own wrist here. Very similar to like a Kimura grip setup. Now, as I break Mike's grip, I'm always going to try to pop away. So if I try to go towards him, he's going to be strong. But if I pop his grip away, it's going to be a little bit easier to break. Now, naturally, when I break his grip out, what does he want to do? Yeah, he wants to come back in. So as he starts to push back in, I'm going to switch my hand to his elbow and bring his arm across my waistline like this. I think it's too much to ask for to be able to drag his arm all the way across his body at once. It's going to be tough to do that when someone knows what's up. So as soon as I drag Mike's arm, you see his arm is along my waistline. And the number one way people resist is they drop that elbow heavy because he's anticipating that I'm going to try to drag his arm across. So he's going to drop his elbow. I place my hand on his tricep using my palm right against his elbow. So from here, I also like to put more pressure on my stomach by breaking Mike's posture. Not by using my arms, but by bringing my knees to my chest. I'm going to fold my knees to my chest, which in turn makes Mike resist a little bit. He's resisting me breaking his posture. I'm going to use my palm on his elbow, and I'm going to put my left foot on the floor when I'm ready to go. So now that his elbow is on my waistline, I can start to hip escape left and push his arm right. Hip escape left, arm right. Sometimes that happens in one hip escape. Sometimes you're going to need to do 1, 2, 3 little micro adjustments, and his elbow is going to drop to the floor. So we'll change the angle. So when his elbow is on the floor, I'm going to be able to hug his tricep and connect my chest to his back. From here, I need to keep pivoting to get behind Mike. This isn't enough, and usually my main focus now is getting my right knee to the mat. So let's rotate a little bit more, Mike. So from here, I'm trying to get my right knee to the mat. So as I use my top leg to swivel, my right knee connects to the mat and it acts as a balancing point, okay? Now, I'm making sure I hug Mike's lat and tricep nice and tight so that I don't get thrown over the top. And immediately, I'm gonna use my hand to post, and I'll even shift myself back enough that my head is in line with Mike's head, okay? Now that I have this position, I can start to use my hand grabbing the collar or even the far collar, but most importantly, I use my wrist and forearm to flare his elbow open so that my left foot can come underneath. If you notice my feet are crossed right now, that's not a big deal and I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure I'm controlling Mike and staying on his back. I can use my toes on the floor to now start to hop, and as I hop, I pull Mike with me and I use my hand. And now I'm just going to hop, push, and hip escape and pull him to the back. You see at this point, my feet will naturally start to uncross and I can start to make my seatbelt position.